Good evening everyone, welcome to this Sunday evening's quiz answers. So we're looking at the Sporting Memories quiz on the Olympic Games. I hope you found it fun to do last evening, and obviously you'll be itching to see what your answers are, how many you've got right. So let's crack on. So question number 1, I asked you about the Olympic motto, which is in Latin, and I asked the Olympic motto of Citius, Altius, Fortius, what does that actually mean? And the translation is faster, higher, stronger. So the answer is faster, higher and stronger, which is the Olympic motto. So that's question number 1. Number 2 was, where did the Olympics of 1948 take place? And we should really know this one, shouldn't we? Because they were obviously held in the City of London. 1948 Games. Very few countries were prepared to take on the Olympics, obviously, with a lot of destruction after the war. Britain rose to the challenge. It was much more of a budget games, obviously, than 2012, but it was a very successful games as well. So number 2 is London. Number 3, this is quite an interesting question. At the 1976 Olympic Games, only one competitor was excused from the compulsory gender test. But who was that competitor? Can you think back to 1976? Well, it was Princess Anne, who was involved in the equestrian sport. And she obviously was excused because from the royal family it wasn't deemed to be appropriate. So she did not have to go through the ordeal of, I don't know about ordeal, but she didn't have to go through a gender test. That was number 3. And number 4, going to track and field, Linford Christie won the 100 metres gold at the 92 Olympics. But who was the last Briton before him to achieve the same feat? Can you remember that? Well, you'd have to go back to the Olympics of 1980, when the Briton Alan Wells, does that name ring any bells with you? Scottish sprinter Alan Wells, who took the 1980 gold medal in a time of 10.25 seconds, and the 1980 Games, of course, that was boycotted by America and some other nations. So the answer is Alan Wells in 1980. And I think before him you'd have to go back to 1924 Harold Abrahams, who's obviously been made famous in the film Chariots of Fire. Question number 5, long jump. In what country and in what year did the long jumper Lynn Davis win the gold medal? Well, Lynn was a big name in his day, and he competed in the 1964 Olympic Games, which were held in Tokyo, which there should have been this year as well. So the answer is 1964 in the city of Tokyo. Question number 6 shifts now back to the Winter Olympics. In the Winter Olympic sport of the biathlon, what are the 2 sports that you would be involved in if you took part in the biathlon? And they are cross-country skiing and shooting. You may have watched it on the television. The cross-country, then they come to the target, they've got to get down, hit the target so many times, back on the skis, etc. So quite a grueling sport, and then having to steady the arms, obviously, for accurate shooting as well. So the answer is skiing and shooting. Number 7, back to a track and field. How many Olympics has the athlete Tessa Sanderson competed at? How many Olympics has Tessa Sanderson competed at? That's quite a hard one. Well, Tessa competed at 6 Olympic Games. 6, that's huge, isn't it? Bit of a record, I think. So she started off in 1976 at Montreal, just having turned 20. And then she competed in 1980, Moscow, 84 Los Angeles, 88 in Seoul, in 92 Barcelona, and she finished off in 1996 at the age of 40 in Atlanta. And the sport obviously was javelin thrower. And she did win the gold medal in Los Angeles in 1984. So the answer to number 7 is 6 Olympic Games. Number 8, about hosting the Games. How many times has the modern Summer Olympics been held in Greece? And the answer to that question is twice. It was held there when the Olympic Games was re-established in the year 1896. It was very different to how it is now. And then it was held there once more in 2004. So 1896, 2004, twice. That's number 8. Number 9, shifting back to the Winter Olympics now. Which British figure skater won the Olympic gold medal at the 1980 Lake Placid Games? I'm sure many of you have got this right, and the answer is Robin Cousins. Robin Cousins. Not to be confused with John Curry, who I believe won the gold medal 4 years earlier in 76, which I think was in Austria. So, moving on to question number 10. How many consecutive Olympic gold medals did the British rower Sir Steve Redgrave win? And it was an amazing performance. He won an amazing 5 consecutive medals. So he started off in 1984 Los Angeles, I think with his rowing partner Matthew Pinsent. He was back in 88 in Seoul. He was there in 92 in Barcelona. He was there in 96 picking up the gold medal again in Atlanta. And you might remember in the Atlanta Games the famous interview he gave where he said to the reporter, "If anyone ever sees me near a boat again, they've got my permission to shoot me." Well, he was back there again, wasn't he? 4 years later, there he was in the Sydney 2000 Games picking up yet another rowing gold medal. So 5 gold medals, that's number 10. Number 11, a bit of a tricky one this. The decathlete Daley Thompson won the BBC Sports Personality of the Year in what year? Well, the answer's 1982. 1982. So, bit of background. Daley picked up his first gold medal at Moscow 1980. The following year, I think he broke the points record for the decathlon, and he picked up gold again, which is probably the European or the World Championships. So by 1982, he really was a huge personality known to the public. So he was obviously voted in. And then obviously in 1984, he retained his Olympic title in Los Angeles. So quite a legend in terms of decathlon. So 1982 for number 11. Number 12. This is quite a hard question as well, I think. Malcolm Cooper won 2 Olympic gold medals for Britain in what sport? Well, it was shooting. He won 2 gold medals in 1984 and 1988. A feat, apparently, that wasn't achieved again for over another 20 years. So, quite heroic. Malcolm Cooper won 2 golds for shooting. Number 13. Which woman smashed the 200 metres world record at the 1988 Seoul Olympic Games? And the answer to that one was Florence Griffith Joyner. Do you remember that name? It used to be the nickname of Flojo. Flojo, she didn't break the 100 metres world record. She broke that in the US trials, I believe. But she took the gold for the 100 metres. She smashed the 200 metres world record, so obviously took the gold there as well. So she was a bit of a phenomenon. And Flojo, or Florence Griffith Joyner, for number 13. So well done if you got that one. That's another quite tough question. Number 14, track and field again. Which British high hurdler competed in 4 Olympic Games, winning 1 silver medal? Well, the answer to that is Colin Jackson. Colin Jackson of Britain, of Wales, of course. A phenomenal high hurdler. I don't think his Olympic medal tally does justice to him. He picked up his single silver at the Seoul Olympic Games in 1988, but Colin picked up a lot of golds. European golds, World Athletic golds, Commonwealth golds, but the only one that eluded him was the Olympic Games. So, silver medal, Colin Jackson is your answer for number 14. So that rounds us off nicely with question 15. Which Briton leapt to triple jump gold at the Sydney 2000 Games? And the answer to that one is Jonathan Edwards. Do you remember that? The triple jumper Jonathan Edwards picked up the Sydney gold medal. He was a world record holder. He won European golds. He won World Athletic golds. Probably best known for breaking the world record twice in the European Athletic Championships. So number 15 was Jonathan Edwards, who now commentates, particularly on sport, but on other programmes as well. So I hope you've enjoyed that bit of reminiscence, some names there from the past. I know a lot of them have been questions from 70s, 80s, a few from the 90s. I try to do it that way to make it more nostalgic, and hopefully it's got you thinking again of some great moments of sport and great moments of when you watch those sports as well. So till next time, have a great week and thank you for joining me. Bye bye.